Well, hi, and welcome to Celebration Bar Review. My name is Jackson Mummy, and you're watching this video, I'm assuming, because you've gotten your bar results back from a jurisdiction that uses the Multistate Essay Exam or the Uniform Bar Exam, the UBE, and the results were not favorable. And so I just want to start by saying I understand how awful that feels and how disappointed you must feel at this point. And how frustrating it is to be in that situation. And I just want to acknowledge that that is a perfectly normal reaction, and it's one that goes away a little bit with time. But the good news is that because you're watching this video, you've already indicated at some level that you're resilient, that you're not prepared to give up. And you may be asking yourself, what do I do next, and where do I go from here? And so that's what I'd like to address in this particular short video. I think that the reason that people look for this kind of information right now is that in most cases you worked hard, you did what you were told to do, and you didn't get the result that you wanted. So what makes this different? Well, first of all, Celebration Bar Review is my company. I've been teaching the bar exam for over 2 decades now. The Uniform Bar Exam and the MEE are relatively recent players on the bar exam stage. They've only been around for a few years, but we've been testing and working in those jurisdictions almost from the beginning. And as the UBE in particular expands across the country, we're getting more and more students that are taking those exams. And while not all the results are in, as I'm recording today, from all of the jurisdictions around the country, we've got most of them in at this point. And I would say we're running probably a 75% to 80% pass rate across all the UBE jurisdictions. And with primarily a group of people who are not first-time bar takers. So I think that in almost every jurisdiction that probably puts us well above the passing rates and the averages that people have typically in those exams. And so I just want to encourage you that there is a way in which you can work through these parts of the exam successfully. Now, we've been teaching the multi-state bar exam. I've been teaching it for almost 25 years. We have tremendous success with that program. The MPT, the performance test, again, for many, many years since it was first introduced, and now the MEE. So we're able to help you with the essays, the performance tests, and the multi-state bar itself. Knowing that, and with our particular emphasis on writing and personal assistance, let me make some suggestions about what I think you want to do next. The first thing in my mind is to have an objective set of eyes to work through the material and through your results with you. We offer a free, no-obligation consultation that you do with me by phone or Skype or FaceTime to go over your results, kind of see where you are, see what's happened, give you a more objective, less emotional view of the scores and what's possible. I find that that consultation can be incredibly helpful just because it's somebody who understands what the test is about versus a consoling family member or friend or boss. And it's a chance for you to get a better roadmap of what you might have to do going forward. So that's the first thing I would encourage you to do, and there are links on this page for you to set up that consultation with me. The second thing is, and it's probably a little counterintuitive, but you need to get back into your studies right away. As I'm recording today, we're in a 90-day window until the next bar exam. I would say that if you've got at least 60 days to study for the exam, that's enough time. Obviously, the fewer days, the more hours per day you need to put in. But in general, to study for the uniform bar exam takes about 200 to 250 hours of total study time. So the earlier you begin, the fewer hours that you have to put in. Getting back into your studies right away does a couple of things. It gives you an emotional fix or focus point down the road. That's helpful. It kind of gets you back into the saddle, if you will. And it lets you build on what you've already learned, which I think is important so that that doesn't just completely fade away. If you wait until the next administration of the exam, odds are you'll start at about the same point we're at today. There's just something about human nature that does that. So I think it's worthwhile to get started, regardless of which exam date you're taking, to get back in as soon as possible. The third thing I would say to you is that if you took a traditional, what I call a big box bar review course and did not pass, I think you're going to find that that kind of course for a retake student is not particularly helpful. Barbary, Kaplan, those companies are fine for first-time takers, but their sweet spot, their happy place, is not a repeat bar taker. There's not really much in the way of individual attention there. And in my experience, someone who's retaking the bar probably does need more individual attention, whether it's in the writing or just in the test anxiety pieces or just kind of putting it all together. So I would look to change to a course that can provide you with more personalized attention. Now, Celebration Bar Review is one of those courses. We're certainly not the only one, but I would encourage you to look at doing something differently. I think the temptation for a lot of people is that you took a big course, you failed by maybe a few points, and you think, well, I'll just do that course again and I'll do it better and I'll pass. Statistically, that's not going to be accurate. You're not likely to pass in that situation. The repeat numbers really drop dramatically for the big companies. I think this is where having a more personalized approach to the exam and to your preparation will really come in handy. In a course like ours, you'll have options for mentoring in which you send your written work in and conference with me, your performance tests and your essays, talking about your multi-state work. We also have a program called STAR, which stands for Successful Test Application Resources, which are a group of third-party resources that we integrate into the course for those that select it, that include some programs that deal with reading comprehension, test anxiety, neuro-linguistic programming, and so on. And there'll be links as well for you to look at that. But that's something you might want to consider in this course. We'll also take you through license questions for the multi-state bar and the MPT. We'll give you essay questions and model and sample answers. And we'll give you a study guide, which is a list of assignments that you follow step by step to get ready for the exam. So you have lots of choices, but really a focus on you as a retake student. And I think you'll find that all of those things are pretty helpful. So whether it's our course or somebody else's, really seriously consider doing something different for this next administration of the exam. So those are the three things that I would suggest you do right away. Get someone to help and consult with you about your scores, looking at it and evaluating them. Get back into your studies as soon as possible and change what you're doing. If you do those three things, I think you give yourself the best possible opportunity to be successful on the exam right away. And we hope that we have the chance to work with you. And I encourage you to contact me and look forward to seeing your name on a pass list for an upcoming MEE or UBE exam. Thanks very much for watching and good luck to you.